Alex Albon is the most underrated star in Formula One. I think it's time that we have to discuss this. After what he's just done at the Dutch Grand Prix and how he's been all season long, Alex Albon has done a phenomenal job. You know, Williams have a lot to thank Alex Albon for, because as much as the career that he's had that has been so polarizing, the fact that he's here as a consistent Formula One driver is nothing short of amazing. Alex Albon is so good. He's so good. And I'm more impressed at the fact that when he left Red Bull, when he was sacked by Red Bull and he was off the face of Formula One for a period of time, he could have disappeared into the ether. We may have never seen him again. But Alex Albon, as I don't know what took over him, but he was determined to come back to Formula One and absolutely show everybody, show Red Bull what on earth they were missing. Could you imagine if Alex Albon was currently in that Red Bull of 2025? Who knows what kind of Red Bull we would have, what kind of Alex Albon we would have. But Alex Albon has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's been so good, so underrated. And I think he's the most underrated Formula One star. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because when you think about the Red Bull that was so dominant, you know, like the 22-23 season, the Red Bull that's been so dominant, he is to blame, for the lack of a better term. He's to blame for this Red Bull being so great. This Red Bull is phenomenal. I mean, now it's not been so great in 2025, but 22, 23, 24, who was out there doing the simulator work? Who was out there when he wasn't having a drive in Formula One, learning the car, trying to understand the car, giving feedback to the team, telling them what he felt about the car, what would be good, what would be bad? Could that be the missing link now, since he's got a seat in Formula One with Williams? Could he have been the missing link with the Red Bull situation all along? We talk about Rob Marshalls, we talk about Adrian Newey's, we talk about the Christian Horners of this world. Maybe Alex Albon, who was giving Red Bull all the information during that time when Mercedes was still dominating in 2020, 21, in 22 slightly, you know, where you know, 22 is where Red Bull began, right? In terms of this era, this version of Red Bull. Alex Albon was out there doing the work. Now, it's one thing he did all of that, and he won't get all the praise for that, obviously, because Max has to drive those cars, and Max has to put it over the line. But then, when he joined Williams, right, you know, it was obviously a massive step back from where he was before, and he joined Williams, I guess, you know, of course, out of like desperation. He could get a seat, and the drivers that he had as his teammates, like Latifi, Sargent, you remember that Williams? He was having to do work whilst that Williams was terrible, and he was half decent in those first couple of years. But he has grown and grown every single year. And this is not like we didn't know he had talent, because when we had him in Toro Rosso days, we were like, oh, this guy looks good. He got the promotion to Red Bull mid-season. And it just didn't work out for him, right? But then in the Williams, he has grown as much as the Williams has grown over the last couple of years. And what we are now seeing is him versus Carlos Sainz. Now, I will preference Carlos Sainz's first year in Williams. You would expect there to be some getting used to, you know, a bit rusty maybe, a few cobwebs need to come off in a Williams seat. But Carlos Sainz is no stranger to joining Formula One teams. This is like his 9th team in Formula One. He's basically done the whole grid. The fact that Alex Albon is cleaning him up in the Drivers' Championship, he's absolutely destroying him in the Drivers' Championship. At the time of recording, Carlos Sainz, 17th place in the Drivers' Championship with about 16 points. Yeah? Meanwhile, Alex Albon, 64 points, 8th position. You know what? Joint 7th, let me go that far, with a Mercedes driver in Kimi Antonelli. Now, I know what you're saying. It's Kimi Antonelli. But what I'm saying is, it's a Mercedes driver. And we cannot ignore that. We can't pretend and act like that's not something to talk about. But the fact that he is dominating his teammate in Carlos Sainz is big news, because Carlos Sainz is no slouch. Let's have it right. Carlos Sainz has been brilliant at previous teams. Whether Ferrari, by the way, the Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz sort of battle, I'm sorry, it ends in a draw. That ended in a draw. The Carlos Sainz at McLaren clearly won that. Now, albeit he was with Lando Norris, you know, fair enough. Young Lando Norris at the time. But the fact that he is here now, Mr. Alex Albon, yes, he had Latifi. Yes, he had Logan Sargent. Okay, cool. Let's bring on a top dog like Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz was absolutely getting dressed down by Alex Albon. Alex Albon's in the top 10 of the Drivers' Championship. He's top 8, joint 7th with Kimi Antonelli, who's in a Mercedes. Let's have it right. And Mercedes car that's worth, you know, podium positions, that could win a race maybe. He is in a Williams, Alex Albon, and he's doing this. I just want to say, like, when you put all these things together, when you factor his whole career all together, when you factor the point I mentioned about Red Bull and the dominant Red Bull car that we got to experience, when you factor the fact that he's had this Williams and he's been growing with this Williams, he's getting, you know, was it P5 at the Dutch Grand Prix? A Williams, what's it doing there? Credit to Williams and the crew, credit to James Vowles and everybody else that's connected to the Williams teams. But let's have it right. What is a Williams doing over there? And meanwhile, Alex Albon has been there on merit. He's fair game. He's been phenomenal in that Williams team. So we cannot discredit, we cannot discount Alex Albon. He's been nothing short of phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant in that Williams team. He's the most underrated driver in Formula One. And it's only if he could get another shot at the top team. And who knows, maybe Williams might become that top team like they used to be. You know, even the days of Massa and Bottas. You know, if they become a team that's like in the top 3, top 4 constructors, maybe we will see what Alex Albon can really do. But I would love to see him in another fast car. I'd love to see him, you know, if the George Russell of it all gets a bit muddy, if Kimi Antonelli loses his seat, I'd love to see him in that Mercedes. I'd love to see him in the number 2 drive again at Red Bull. You know, why not? What if it doesn't go well for Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton, or maybe Charles Leclerc has enough? Hello, step inside, Mr. Alex Albon, because he's worthy. He's worthy of it for sure. I just want to see Alex Albon have another crack at it, because I genuinely think he'll be winning races and going for title challenges. That's how deep I feel about this. Alex Albon, full stop, underrated star in Formula One. The number one. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I talking crazy? What's your thoughts on Alex Albon? What's your thoughts on the Williams situation? YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here, so make sure you go ahead and click that. And until next time, lights out.